Hello, cozy humans. Today, I hope you're sitting down because it is about to get spicier than the spicy water chestnuts that CALDARUS just cooked for me. So today, we're gonna talk all about dating. As you know, in the new update that just came out on July 21st, not only can you change your status to dating, and look at this, because I'm dating everybody, all of their statuses say dating too. But we're also going to give you a quick walkthrough of all the date inspiration locations. There are currently 6 areas where you can go on a date, and you have to unlock these locations by finding certain items. So we're gonna cover all of that. If you guys wanna skip ahead, there will be some chapters in this video, but if you are looking for a comprehensive guide, if you want to see what the different dates look like, I got your back. So first, let's start out talking about date inspiration locations. Once you reach 8 hearts with any character that you're interested in, Elsie will actually come by your house. Not only will she give you a very in-depth tutorial, but she explains that you can actually date multiple characters at the same time. However, in this update, there is no engagement yet. It is exclusively dating, but when the time comes to propose, you will only be able to propose to one character. I have yet to see any drama like in Stardew Valley where if you date multiple people, they will get mad at you. And I actually encourage you guys to date multiple people, and we will get to that in a second. But Elsie will actually give you your first 2 date inspiration locations. The first one being the inn date, and that object looks like a menu. Now on the first date, the inn meal date, you'll go up to the character that you want to go on a date with, and they will actually ask you, for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to show you March for some of these dates, but you will teleport to the inn, and as usual on the dates, you don't see actual dialogue between the characters. You see little emotes pop up above their head, little blurbs. So at the end of every date, you're not only given an in-date photo with the character that you've gone on the date with, but on the end date in particular, you also walk away with a doggy bag. That's right, they give you leftovers. The Deep Woods Picnic, which is the second date location that Elsie gives you, looks like a little picnic basket. We're transported to the deep woods by the waterfall. A beautiful little picnic setup is there, and I absolutely love this in the winter as well. It's absolutely magical. Again, you will share a kiss. And then you also leave with another item, another food item. So this time I walked away with a pumpkin pie. To unlock the next date inspiration location, the beach date, all you have to do is run down to the beach. You can see I went in the morning. I don't think it actually matters, but go ahead and cast your line. And if you reel something in with the fish that looks like a pink heart seashell, and it's called the Lovely Seashell, that's your date inspiration for the beach date. Hurry up and unlock it, and you can now invite your partner for a beach walk on the weekend. And keep in mind, you can only ask characters on dates on the weekend. March is very excited about this date, thankfully. And look at how cute the animation is. You're walking along with your character of choice, and they will actually pick up a collectible for you on the beach. I've done this date with a few different characters, and they give me something different every time, but it's usually a seashell or a sand dollar. And you share a kiss and you go home with your keepsake. Only downside is why is the character not in a swimsuit for a beach date? But it's all right. The next location, you're actually gonna wanna go to the Eastern Road and look for any artifact spot. I picked the artifact spot by the hawthorn tree, and I got something called a dollhouse bench. And this bench is actually going to unlock your next date inspiration location, the park date. And the park is also on the Eastern Road. Go ahead and select the park date, and March says I've got some free time if you wanna do something together. You wanna go to the park? Sure, let's do it. So here you guys are on this date. Again, you're on the Eastern Road, you're sitting on a bench, and then March notices something, or whoever you choose to go on the date with, they will pick you a flower. And again, depending on the time of year, the flower could change. You share a little kiss, and that is the end of the date. On this date, I got a fog orchid, and of course, the park date photo. I wish they had different poses for all these pictures, but it's fine, I guess. The first 2 date inspirations I found fairly easily, but let me tell you, it took me multiple days to actually get this last date location. I was down in those mines. I had seen people on Reddit say they got it from just hitting a rock, but for me personally, I had to go to level 68 in the mines, and once I got all the way down there, I noticed a chest in the bottom left corner of the map, and obviously I ran over there as fast as I could, and once I actually opened that chest, that is where the next date inspiration was. So you can see this little pink rough gemstone pop out. And of course, you're gonna wanna hold it and unlock it. This is the item that's going to give you the next date inspiration location, and it is the gem cutting date. So literally March's dream date, and you're going to go to the forge to cut gems. March is obviously ecstatic about this. So here on the date, you're at the forge, and you're gonna go ahead and take turns hammering the gem, and then look what happens. it turns into a beautiful sapphire. And of course, because you don't walk away from this date empty-handed, you not only leave with the sapphire, but again, a gem cutting date photo. And he actually has his eyes closed in this and looks very excited because it's his dream date. Just a side note, if you do decide to go on a duplicate date with a character, not only will they have a little dialogue about, oh, you want to do that again? You can go on the date as many times as you want, but the second time you won't walk away with a picture. But I still got a pumpkin pie. Now, something very interesting happened to me when I invited Juniper to go on the gem cutting date. And I don't know if this was meant to be put in the game or not, but let me just show you what happens. So it starts out as any normal date. You know, we're hammering away on the forge, but look at what this turns into. Do you see the color of that diamond? That is not in our game yet. That diamond is pink. And of course, when she hands it to me, I've never seen this item before. My mind is racing. I'm like, what's going on? And then I see the name, Pink Diamond. Mind you, I'm at the very bottom of the mine right now. This is a brand new item. And it says it's extremely rare, can be sold, gifted, or used in high-level crafting recipes. And you get a cute photo, but I went to the wiki and look at this. So it says this page contains info that was obtained via data mining, so it's not in the game yet. This is a huge spoiler, by the way. Pink diamonds are a material that can be found while mining in the ancient ruins section of the mine. I was like, where is that? I haven't seen that yet. The Ancient Ruins is the unreleased 5th biome the player will encounter when exploring the mine. So I literally have no idea if this was supposed to be in the game, if this is just a sneak peek, but this item doesn't show up anywhere else in the game. It does not show up in the update at all, anywhere else except for this particular item being gifted to me after a date with Juniper. So what is going on? I have not seen anybody else talk about this. I do not know. Let me know in the comments if you know what's going on. Now, obviously, you know that CALDARUS can't leave the deep woods with how far the game is in the update. Obviously, if a future update comes out, I'll give you an updated guide, but you can invite CALDARUS on all of these dates. However, what the date looks like will be vastly different than what you might think. So if you want to invite CALDARUS on the beach date, he says a walk on the beach. While that does sound nice, I'm afraid that I can't stray so far from the deep woods. Would you perhaps join me for a walk by the waterfall instead? So as you can see, he's offering an alternate location, but you will still get to go on the same date. So this was supposed to be the beach date. Now we're in front of a waterfall, but this is what's interesting. He still picks up an item to give to you, even though it's an item that I don't typically see in the deep woods. So I got Spiralist Shell and you get the beach date photo. Look at how cute. The deep woods picnic, because we're already in the deep woods, it's the exact same location. So I'll just show you guys a little preview here. As you can see, exact same spot. It just looks different because it's winter now in my game. Now the gem cutting date, this one actually made me laugh a little bit. He says, it does sound intriguing. I'm not sure I have suitable equipment out here in the woods, but shall we give it a try anyway? So here we are on a tree stump. He doesn't have a hammer. I'm the one with a hammer, but our gem turns into a diamond. So a different character gave me a different gemstone, which I thought was interesting because I did the gem cutting date with March twice and I got a sapphire both times. But with CALDARUS, I got a diamond and again, a new photo. Now for the end date, CALDARUS says he has been practicing his cooking. As you guys know, my mans cannot cook. My man's is a cute dragon lord, but he cannot cook. But you will actually, instead of going to the inn, you will have a nice, charming, romantic date right here in CALDARUS's home. He cooks for you by the open fire, gives you a little kiss, and then you do walk away with the dish. So I got a vegetable pot pie, so delicious. For the park date, you're actually just gonna walk around the area in front of his temple since he can't leave the deep woods, and you sit on a bench right by, you know, where you actually pick up the temple flowers. So it's a really pretty location, even though you're not in the deep woods. You still have a bench to sit on. Again, he will pick a flower for you, really romantic. So I got a crocus this time and the park date photo. Now we're getting to the really juicy, the really spicy stuff, okay? And I am of course talking about the bathhouse dates. So what you wanna do is you wanna go to Weedle's booth. Again, you have to reach level 65 before you can even unlock these vendors. But once you do, you can spend $100,000 to unlock the bathhouse date. And of course I invited CALDARUS first because as of now, This man is the only character that I have not seen in a skimpy little beach outfit. So obviously, I want to see the dragon with his shirt off. This is probably one of the main reasons you're watching this video, is you want to see everybody in their little bath outfit. Since we can't go to the bathhouse, he's improvising by heating up the little pond in front of his house and turning it into like a hot tub for us. Okay, but look at what happens at the end. You don't get an item, you get the prize is this photo. And we have done it. We have officially seen Caldarus with his shirt off. What are these lines, these little tattoos? I don't know what's going on. Look at how that towel is tied. Ah! Okay. I'm being way too loud. Anyways, guys, let's just go through really quickly and compare everyone's bathhouse photos. Celine is the one that seems shy about it. The other characters are the ones who are more forthcoming and are asking us to go, and they're like, hey, you wanna go? But it seems like we low-key kind of have to convince Celine a little bit. And of course, the rest of Bathhouse Dates are going to be in Juniper's actual bathhouse. And oh my gosh, look at Celine's. I love how each of their pictures shows their personality. Like, look, the towel has flowers on it for our flower girl. The next character I invited was Raina, who's super stoked about it. Here we are in the little tub. Oh, look, she's really just like barely above the water. And look at Raina's towel. Oh, it's so cute. It's interesting to see their dialogue. Baylor, what? A bath? Really? Of course I'll go with you. Expected a little bit more enthusiasm from Hal from Hal's Moving Castle, but that's okay. Look at this man. I don't know where he got that huge scar across his chest. He used to kind of have a shady past, but look at that towel. The luxurious purple, the little knot on the side. Yes. All right, next up we're gonna do Hayden. Would you like to go to the bathhouse with me? Ha ha ha, sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. So Hayden is just cracking up. I think he knows we're about to, you know, take our clothing off to go in this bath, and he is just cracking up. Literally, he is giddy like a little schoolgirl. He cannot contain his excitement. And oh my gosh, Zaddy of the year. Zaddy of the year. Look at this man. Next up is Adeline, and she has no hesitation. Immediate yes. And then she checks herself. Oh wait, I mean I would love to. So here we are in the bath with Adeline, and here she is. Of course, she has to have the golden embroidery on her towel because, as we know, she is a child of royalty. She lives in the manor, and her towel reflects that. Next up is Valen, who, as you guys know, very bottom of my roster. I just personally get a little bit bored by Valen, but that's all right. And here we are in the bath with Valen. And here is Valen's bathhouse photo. So the towel actually matches the hair. Now I know you all have been waiting for this moment. We are gonna ask our man March, you wanna go to the bathhouse together? See, of course I want to. He was the quickest. That was the quickest yes, and immediately here we go into the bath. He did not need a second to think about that. He was like, go before you change your mind, pretty much. And yes, I'm just gonna leave this up here a moment. I'm gonna give you guys a nice little song, and I'm gonna let you enjoy this one. God bless Mistria, am I right? Okay, next I ran into Juniper. She was the one I was probably second most excited about because it's her bathhouse. So she says she prepared an infusion and thought we could enjoy it together. You'd love to? Of course you would. Excellent. I'll start filling the bath. And she has her hair up for this. We're having our little conversation. And look at her towel. First of all, we see a cheeky little thigh right here, and hers is so cute. I love how it has a tie, the tassels. You can see her long nails in this too. Like, girl is working it, and she looks amazing. Then I ran into Reese, so I asked him to go on the bathhouse date. He said he was thinking of heading to the bathhouse and invited me to come along. So here we are with Reese in the bath, and here he is. We're already kind of not into him because he just keeps talking to me about birds, and I'm just not interested in that. But we have other options here that in my opinion are better, but let me know. And this was awkward because the brother and sister were right next to each other, and I just went to the bath with Adeline, and now I'm asking Island, but that's all right because nobody really seems to care that I'm dating everybody yet. So here we are with Island in the beautiful bathhouse, having a good time. And here he is. I think after seeing Hayden, I feel like everybody just looks like a little lean cuisine. But Island, beautiful hair, and of course, fancy towel. Look at that, tassels, purple, everything you'd expect. Let me know which of those pictures were your favorite. I think mine for sure, it goes Caldarus and actually Baylor in second. And then I think Juniper and March are tied for third. And for those of you on the fence thinking, oh, I don't want to date multiple people, I actually recommend that you do, because once you're in the dating stage with all these characters, if you run into them in the town, they will give you gifts. And some of those gifts can be very valuable. So I'm just gonna show you a few little clips of some gifts that the characters have given me. Island gave me 5 chocolate. He also gives you a gift from Reese's Family's Bakery, and it's a golden cheesecake, which is one of the most expensive foods in the entire game. Caldarus gives you a faux temple flower, and all these gifts are different. Obviously, different characters will give you things that are more like their characters. So Hayden, you're gonna get a lot more like home goods, farm goods. Raina gives you so much food. Like, she is constantly giving me food items. March actually didn't want to see me go hungry either. Gave me some food, a mushroom steak dinner. Celine, of course, the garden queen, gives you flowers. Most of the time they'll give you consumables, but rarely they will give you some nice items. Like, I didn't even get a video of Valen, but one time she just gave me 1,000 coins just to like spend on myself. It was crazy. Look at this, lemonade from March. Raina, a turnip and potato au gratin. Juniper even makes you something, believe it or not. She also makes you a food item. Water chestnut fritters. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you're subscribed. I will have some more Fields of Mistria content and some cozy gaming content in general coming. Thank you guys so much for watching.